this week's edition of Morning Line, the USTA's weekly news magazine. I'm Paul Ramlow.
And I'm Allison Conte.
This Saturday, Yonkers Raceway will host a pair of $40,000 eliminations in the Yonkers Trot for sophomore trotters, the second leg of the sport's trotting Triple Crown. Hamiltonian winner Pinkman and New York Sire Stakes freshman champion Crazy Wow lead the list of 11 three-year-olds entered in the Yonkers Trot. These two met in last Saturday's Colonial Trot at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. Pinkman went off stride at the start, opening the door for his 8 rivals, and Crazy Wow was the one to take advantage. The Ron Burke trainee, who was not eligible to the Hamiltonian, won the Colonial by 1 1/4 lengths over the bank in 1:52 3. Tim Tetrick was in the sulky for the first time behind the son of Crazed.
I think he's good. He's been there before. I know he's not as handy on the half as he was on the bigger tracks, but he's a nice horse. I really like him. I've driven him once. I've driven some great ones, so we'll see how he can end up the year. Maybe I can talk as good about him as some of the other ones.
Only 8 horses entered the Messenger Stakes for sophomore pacers, the second leg of Pacing's Triple Crown, so all 8 will advance to next week's final. Delta Winner, who won the Cane Pace, the first jewel of the Triple Crown, leads the 8 horses in the Messenger. Skipping the race will be Wiggle It Jiggleit, who last Saturday equaled a world record in winning the $500,000 Battle of the Brandywine at Pocono. Wiggle It Jiggleit made it look easy, scoring by 3 lengths over Wakizashi Hanover in 1:48.
EL Titan and driver Tim Tetrick made a 3-wide move from 5th place on the final turn and overtook JL Cruz and Resolve in the stretch to win Saturday's $100,000 Sebastian K Invitational for older trotters at the Downs at Mohegan Sun Pocono. EL Titan won in a lifetime best 151 2, beating Resolve by a head. Daylon Miracle finished 3rd and JL Cruz was 4th, snapping the 4-year-old's 12-race win streak. Like his mount behind Crazy Wow, this was also the first time Tetrick had driven EL Titan.
Very nice horse, very pleasure to drive, and he is a good horse.
The Sebastian K Invitational honored recently retired Sebastian K, who in 2014 trotted the fastest mile in harness racing history at Pocono, winning in 1:49 flat. A retirement ceremony with Sebastian K in attendance, along with co-owner Michael Knutson of Knutson Trotting Inc., was held in the winner's circle prior to the race.
It's a special moment. I mean, Pocono Downs goes to our heart forever. I mean, it was the race of all races that Sebastian K did in a fantastic career. To be here on the racetrack for the last time and to be here in Pocono, it's a perfect finale, perfect ending. I mean, we bred certainly 100 horses and never had a winner like Sebastian K. And he has given us so much pleasure. He has taken us to so many great places, such as Pocono Downs. Now starts the new era, and we really hope there will be plenty of mini Sebastians running around, and they will have good genes.
This weekend, the 2-year-old class may come into focus a bit more as the freshmen head to Mohawk Racetrack for eliminations for the Metro Stakes. Yannick Gingras is listed to drive in all 3 eliminations with 3 different charges of the Ron Burke stable, but he will be staying in the States to drive Pinkman in the eliminations for the Yonkers Trot.
He's going along to the gate, maybe a bit more grabby than usual, but it's usually when he's actually at his best when he actually grabs on. So I was really happy that he was a little bit aggressive, and that's fitting him into the gate and just getting ready for the gate to pick up speed, and he just took off running. I really have no explanation why he did it. He runs in a little bit in the pen, but he's again, he made a break last week, but he's as square gated as could be. He's very solid. I don't see any problem at all for him getting around Yonkers.
Also coming into the Metro eliminations from the Steve Elliott barn is Talk Show. While we were out in New Jersey, Steve told the Morning Line crew that Talk Show might be something to talk about this season.
He don't know what he's doing it either. Like, he goes around, and you go past the paddock, and halfway down the backstretch, you get him pulled up, and then he comes back. He's just, you're a good boy, ain't you? Huh?
Yeah. Also on Saturday night at Mohawk are the eliminations for the Canadian Pacing Derby, which always promises to be an exciting battle in the free-for-all ranks. State Treasurer headlines the eliminations, coming off of his track record performance last Sunday in the Roll with Joe at Tioga Downs. Harness Racing's richest pacer, foiled again, will be looking for a 5th trip to the Canadian Pacing Derby final. Though he's not had the best season in 2015, He was a winner in the 2012 edition of this race and a long shot that time as well.
This week's tweet of the week comes from Michelle Hogan at Harness Artist, because we simply couldn't resist sharing an awesome illustration of harness racing's #1 horse, Wiggle It Jiggleit. Finished 8x10 pen and ink, Wiggle It Jiggleit. Check out more of Michelle's work by following her on Twitter or on her Facebook page, Michelle Hogan Equine and Fine Art. And while we still want you to sound off on social, we're also asking you to take a poll this week. Yonkers Raceway has decided that instead of track personnel picking the U.S. representative for the $1 million International Trot on October 10th, they'd ask you guys, the fans. Polling is up on the homepage at ustrotting.com and on our Facebook page. Some lucky voters will also be randomly selected to receive a swag bag full of Yonkers Raceway, International Trot, and USTA gear.
The historic Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky. Hear the echoes of champions past and the thunder of present superstars. Fantastic finishes, super sales, and the nightlife of a metropolitan area with all the amenities. The Grand Circuit at the Red Mile, September 30th through October 10th, harness racing's greatest tradition.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Morning Line. Thanks for joining us, and tune in next week for all your behind-the-scenes harness racing action,
including a preview of the Metro and Canadian Pacing Derby finals at Mohawk Racetrack and the Yonkers Trot and Messenger finals at Yonkers Raceway. We'll see you next week on the Morning Line.